What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You guys know it is. It's your boy Kevo, man. All right, so today we're gonna be checking out this video called "Being Black in the Philippines: The Truth." Anyways, get in the damn video, man. Let's go.
Alam ko may snow dito.
Just gonna go to a target place and they gonna say like, oh, asang anak. Parang napaka-disrespectful din kasi.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Alan. Welcome to our planet. And today we've got a really special video for you guys. It might be a little different from what we usually do, but we do think that you guys might find it interesting and insightful. As we know, white privilege is something that doesn't just exist in the West. It also exists in Asia as well. But one thing's for sure is that the Philippines is definitely on its way to getting better. We are slowly loving our own skin tones and other skin tones as well.
Right? It got
We're
beautiful
really on
skin
our way to
tones, man, the
progress.
Philippines.
But knowing that we're still on our way, we thought that it would be interesting to know what it's like to be black in the Philippines. Without further ado, let's get on to the video.
Especially when they can speak proper like Filipino.
Hey guys, my name is Echo Abigail from Nigeria. I lived in San Fernando City, La Union, and later moved to Manila City. I stayed in the Philippines for 4 years and 6 months of my life.
Hello po, ako po si Mimi Felicia. I am a Nigerian. I've
Nigerians,
been in the Philippines for about 14 years now. Yes, that
14 years?
I used to stay in Rizal. That's where we're based the first time I came over to the Philippines.
Hello guys, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Paul, Filipino and American.
African-American ako. And I'm from the Philippines. Una po sa lahat, ako po'y naninirahan.
Oh my God!
Sa City, Pampanga.
My boy can speak proper.
Ang napakasarap na sisig sa buong Pilipinas. 30 years na po ako naninirahan.
The Philippines are beautiful.
Is Abimbola Shineye, and I am from Nigeria. I lived in the Philippines, Makati to be precise, for 5 years. Within the 5 years, I also had opportunities to travel around the country. And
Must be
it was
nice.
one of the best times of my life.
Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Ruth. I'm a Nigerian, a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Nursing from one of the universities here in the Philippines. I graduated last year, September 2021. Currently, I live in Dagupan City, Pangasinan.
So she went for a nurse in that.
Philippines
got some of the best nurses.
Why did you move to the Philippines?
My main aim of moving to the Philippines was to study.
I moved to the Philippines because my parents were sent here to the Philippines to work. I was here with my sisters.
Tulad po na sinabi ko, dito na po ako pinanganak. So, hindi ko masasabi ng maayos. Pero yung po yung sagot dyan, ever since 1991, dito na po talaga ako.
Actually,
What did he say?
moved to the Philippines because my ex-boyfriend had an opportunity to come work there. Well, I also followed suit to be closer with him. But on the flip side, I was also studying in Makati.
I moved to the Philippines in pursuit of
But the thing about it, when these guys move to the Philippines, like, that's a big risk, man. You don't know anybody there in the Philippines. Like, some of them don't have family members there. But like I said, in the Philippines, I find they're very welcoming, especially like to, I don't know, I gotta say it to like foreigners. They're very welcoming to foreigners. I've noticed that already. So I think maybe it was an easy transition, but we're gonna find out.
Of my dream course. And today, I am already a graduate.
Is there anything that culture shocked you here in the Philippines?
I had a lot of culture shocks in the Philippines, but then I'll just be stating one. Filipinos tend to ask you out on a food date to eat out, then you end up being the one to pay for yourself, and sometimes you will even pay for the person that asked you on a date.
Oh my God!
Country, it's not so. When I
Okay. That this right here is partially true, okay? Partially, I say partially, because I've been with people in the Philippines, when I was in the Philippines, where they would ask me out and we'll go out and they would offer to pay for it. They even welcomed me into their home and offered me like whatever they have. They're like, Kevo, you can have whatever you want. Don't worry about it. Now, this part, there was one person who really did this, and I thought, okay. Not one, maybe a couple, actually, two that I could think of. I'm not going to say their names, but two people that I know that when we went out, it was kind of like I had to pay for everything. I guess because they assumed because, it's Kevo. Kevo couldn't afford it. Don't worry about it. Kevo will pay for everything. I didn't mind because when I went to the Philippines, in my head, I was like, okay, you know what? This is not that expensive, actually, because things were really cheap, at least for me as a foreigner. Like, I know as a foreigner, it's cheap for me because I can afford it. So maybe that's what. But I did find a lot of my other friends were like, no, Kevo, stop. You're a guest here. Kevo, it's okay. We'll pay for it. We'll show you our appreciation. And I really felt appreciated. I really felt like a family member, okay? So I didn't think it was that much of a problem when I had to pay for someone else. I didn't think it was a big deal.
you to eat out with me, it practically means I will be paying. But in the Philippines, when someone say, Abigail, let's eat out, it means, Abigail, put your money in your pocket because it's not gonna go for free.
Actually, marami. Kasi honestly, when I first came here, I was so shocked na yung food nila dito di ganun ka-spicy. Kasi my country, sobrang hili ko sa manghang. Like, laging manghang yung kinakain namin. So when I got here, I saw na walang hanghang and all that. I was like, oh, okay. Actually, marami akong na-culture shock. Especially given the fact that I'm from Africa and it's Asia. It's a really different world.
Tuloy po sinabi ko kanina, born and raised po ako dito. So, buong buhay ko talagang
So he was born and raised.
Pilipinas. Yung mga friends ko na half din, na hindi ako burden. Most of my friends here are half. And I'm telling you, lahat po kami talaga dito parang napaka-tugong Filipino puti na half kami ganyan. Kasi tugong Pinoy, diba? Gang, gang!
Hey.
I had a lot of culture shock because I knew nothing about the country. So one thing that I remember so well was the heat, right? Like how.
Oh my God!
I had met other Filipinos. They're always nice and would always say hello to you.
I remember that. I think that hit me the most, honestly. When I got to the Philippines and I got there, honestly, I was like, oh my God, it's so hot. And the thing about it, people would tell me, Kevo, why are you out at like 12, 1 o'clock? Like, that's when it's the hottest. So, but yeah, trust me, the heat in the Philippines is hot. And I went around April. And apparently people said that April wasn't so bad. I thought April was going to be good, but it was hot. Then I tried again when I went back in January again for Sinulog, and it was still hot, man. I don't know how it's so hot over there. I was dying. I don't know if you guys watch my old vlogs, and you guys who watch my vlogs, you guys will know I was complaining and saying, I need a pool. Someone, please find me a pool. If you got a pool, comment down below. I needed a pool. I haven't changed my hotel just to get a hotel that has a pool. That's how much I wanted to like cool out and chill, because I was in Manila at the time, and you guys know you weren't allowed to swim in Manila Bay, and the closest beach to Manila was like 8 hours away. So I had to find a pool, somewhere that had a pool. So I found a pool.
Culture shock was how kind and nice the people
are.
Kind. As a foreigner, you feel really welcome. The other culture shock is...
You see, I was just saying that a while ago. They, especially as a foreigner, they welcome you in. You feel welcome and as part of the family, bro. I love that feeling.
Love rice so much. You know where I come
rice
from?
Is everything.
I eat rice, but rice with sauce. But you guys,
rice for breakfast, rice for dinner, rice for lunch.
Rice, like that was always thrilling to me. But today I am in Nigeria and I can comfortably eat white rice. I'm not Filipino, just saying.
When I first came to the Philippines, while I was going with a friend to search for an apartment, I saw a pussycat. Immediately I saw that pussycat, I started praying against it. The friend that was taking me around to search for an apartment, he busted out into laughter. And he told me I better get used to seeing pussycats around because it's a norm. They like pussycats.
Pussycats everywhere.
Pets to them. I said, Jesus. In Nigeria, the sight of pussycats, you start praying against it because back in Nigeria, it's just like the witches are after you. So when I saw that pussycats, I was like, my village people are after me. And today, I'm used to seeing pussycats everywhere. I no longer pray anytime I see pussycats. So another culture shock, seeing most people smoking cigarettes. Back there in Nigeria, if you are seen with a cigarette, they look at you as someone who is wayward. So when I first came to the Philippines, when I see old people smoking, I look at them in awe, like, what? What are they doing? Now I'm used to seeing everyone smoke.
Have you ever faced any difficulties, struggles, or uncomfortable situations in the Philippines as a Black person?
Being a Black person living in the Philippines, yes, Filipinos are nice people. They are almost the nicest people in the whole world.
Yes, they are.
Then there are still the bad ones that will make me as a Black person feel less of myself. But in all, I still feel the good part of the Philippines
There's more good.
better than the bad part of the Filipinos. I live with it. I enjoyed all my stay in the Philippines.
That's
Siguro
right.
sa education part, kasi back then, there weren't a lot of Black people here, and I was like the only Black person in the whole school, so it was really hard for me kasi may discrimination, and there's also like the pressure for me to try to fit in. It's always like I always felt like I was different from everyone. Like it was really
or you know
crazy,
what it is too. Like, I don't know, like, for me, I don't know. When I was walking around the streets in Manila, there was a lot of nice people, okay? I don't get twisted or get it mistaken. There was a lot of nice people. But then you'll get the the odd ones, like the crew that like their friends be like, yo, what up, my N-word? What up, my N-word? That's what they'll be like, yo, what up? And that's you still get those, and be like, yo, you like Snoop Dogg? You play basketball? Like, it's a common thing. Like, people think that because you're black, you can play basketball. Yes, I do play basketball. It's true. So I don't know, but it's just everyone was like, you want to play some ball, yo? You like, who's your favorite team? LeBron James, King James, Michael Jordan. I used to get that a lot. But other than that, like, I try to not let it bother me so much. But like I said, there's more good in the Philippines. I find, at least for me, when I was there, a lot more good than bad in the Philippines.
First came here to the Philippines.
Being black in the Philippines po, di naman nasabi ko na mahirap, pero nung mga kabataan ko na wala akong idea about racism, like people like calling you the N-word or joking you as a monkey. Nung bata ka, syempre, parang biro lang, di ka
I said that.
Katagaan lang, some people still make jokes about me, like, some inside racist joke na sometimes just gonna go to a darker place and they gonna say like, oh, asang anak. Parang napaka-disrespectful din kasi. Alam mo, ginagawa mo sa sa'yo, ba't ganun ka mag-approach sa akin? Syempre, kung gusto mong respect mo ako para respecting you.
Right.
Like, we're gonna educate them about...
If you show them respect, they show you back respect too, right?
Some people will listen to you, but sometimes yung ibang tao kasi, kala nila yung mga sinasabi na parang laro lang, parang katuwaan lang. Kahit ano explain mo sa nila, nahihirapan sila i-gets na parang, bakit? Sarili ko to. May sarili akong freedom of speech. Kasi sila yun eh. Tsaka ako kasi di mo tipong nag-hold ng grudge. Educate them, talk to them, that sometimes it's not good to talk bad to other people.
One of the struggles I had as a black woman in the Philippines was making my hair. It was so difficult. It took me like a year to find a Nigerian hairstylist. So that was one. Number two,
the heat
that I had was the food. Filipino food,
spicy.
Sweet. For someone that has sweet tooth and loves sweet food, it is not a problem. But a lot of Filipino food, and you guys do a lot of desserts. We don't even do desserts in Nigeria, like the local delicacies, right? So a lot of Filipino food and a lot of Filipino sweets, and I'm like, oh no, there's sugar in this.
Too much sugar.
Situation.
They do like the sweets and spices.
Man. I was coming from Glorieta and we got stuck in that Makati Avenue traffic. He wanted to pee. I was sitting at the back and he opened the container until I realized he started peeing in the container. And all of the glasses are closed shut, right? God, I felt like, oh my God, somebody is peeing. And I started feeling with my mouth like that quick, right? Because it's a small space. So I just didn't want to like be dramatic about it. I just quickly wind down the glass and then pretended that never happened.
Just let it go. Just let it go, right?
Foreigner in the Philippines is visa problem. Another struggle most foreigners face here in the Philippines is not having any job to do as a student foreigner in the Philippines. We are not allowed to work, and not working while studying affects us somehow. We depend solely on our sponsor. Any menial job or anything you are doing, that's just on your own.
Wow.
But for you to pay your tuition, the major fees, is just, we depend solely on our sponsors.
The sponsors.
And it's really not easy, because sometimes when you are broke, you are completely broke until help comes from above. Another struggle.
Unless, now I'm starting to think I see why a lot of people start vlogging and stuff like that. Foreigners start vlogging. Because, as she just says, if you're in school in the Philippines and you can't get a job, that's really hard. That's really hard. So if I was over there living in the Philippines, honestly, like living there, I know for a fact that I'll be doing my vlogs. I know for a fact that I would try my best to do my reaction videos just like these ones. And I know I would try my best to like go to places that people in the Philippines haven't seen. Because the thing about it, what I found out when I was traveling the Philippines, there was a lot of comments that said, wow, Kevo, I've lived in the Philippines my whole life and I've never got to see this place. And I was like, really? Honestly, that kind of hit me. I was like, really? How did you lived your whole life in the Philippines and you never got the chance to go visit some of these places? Because the thing about it, for me, as I say, this is me as a foreigner, I was thinking like, when I heard some of these bus prices, they're like, for me, like when I did the conversion, they came at like $3, $5 sometimes. It seems so cheap. But being a Filipino, what I've noticed, they don't get paid as much. That's where the difference is. So that's why when you hear foreigners say that it's cheap to go to the Philippines, it's cheap to live in the Philippines. Yes, it's cheap as a foreigner to live in the Philippines, but not cheap as a Filipino live in the Philippines. It's a little harder, especially if you like a middle class, low class families. It's harder because I even had some friends, which I'm not gonna say the name. They hung out with me, And some of them, they were embarrassed to even bring me to their homes. And I told them why. I don't care about that. You're my friend for a reason. I don't care about where you're living, like if you're in the slums or anything. Once, you're taking care of yourself, your family, because family is important in the Philippines. Family is important, and family is important to me. I treated them like they were family, and I still treat them like they're family. And I know a lot of them treat me like they're family. Thinking about it, I gotta go call some of them. I say what up after this video. I'm gonna message them and say hi, because some of them I haven't spoken to in a while. So it doesn't hurt to go check up, just say hi once in a while. Anyways, get back to the video.
Struggle also that I face as a foreigner, and I know most foreigners face that struggle as well, is not being entitled to some things. Before you could get some things in the Philippines as a foreigner, you need to have a Filipino or a Filipina. This is the reason you have most foreigners married to Filipinas.
Now that you've experienced living in the Philippines, have your perceptions changed prior to moving here?
Prior to moving to the Philippines, I was told that Philippines is a poor country, and again, I was told a lot of things that I would have problems speaking or interacting with people. I have to learn Tagalog and all those. And when I got to Philippines, I found out it's not so. I learned Tagalog in my school, but then it's not a must to speak Tagalog because 70 to 80% of Filipinos speak English. And also, getting to the Philippines, I get to find out that Filipinos are not as poor as people portray.
No. That's one thing I've noticed. The Philippines is actually, like, some of their malls, bro. Oh my God. Some of these malls, especially in New Manila. I don't know if you guys know where New Manila. I'm sure some of you guys know. When I was there about, 2 years ago now, there was this mall that my friend Jeff, I'm going to say, Jeff took me. Jeff, homie. Jeff took me to that mall. This mall is bigger than some of the biggest malls in Canada, man. This mall was huge. The floors on floors on floors. It wasn't Ayala. It wasn't the new Ayala malls. Ayala? Is it Ayala? Yeah, it was one of the new Ayala malls. I hope I'm saying that right. I know G kept telling me. G! I hope you watch this. This is one of my videos where she was telling me Ayala Maltese. One of those malls. But yeah, that mall was huge, man. And the thing about the Philippines has so many malls, all over the place. And they're giant. The Greenbelt malls? Oh my God, Greenbelt Mall, giant. A lot of them. And there's so many. There's Greenbelt Mall 1, Greenbelt Mall 2, 3, 4, 5. There is just so many of these malls all over the place. So if you need somewhere to go chill and hang out, there's always a mall somewhere. And I think some of these malls are way bigger and way nicer than some of the malls in Canada.
The Philippines is doing good for itself.
Yeah.
I really did have a weird perception nung papunta ako dito. Kasi akala ko may snow dito. I don't know why. Pero yun lang naman yung naging perception ko here. Pero I realized na this place is actually an island, tropical, like mainit, like right now. So yeah, that's one of the perception that changed.
Born and raised ako dito, pero hindi magbabago yung pananaw sa Pilipinas na kahit sobrang dami kong pinagdaanan dito na hardship, struggles o ano man. Hindi magbabago kasi kahit pa dito na lumaki, kung Pilipino pa din po ako. Kahit na half African American ako, I'm still gonna be Filipino yung isip, sa puso, at sa gawa.
Living in the Philippines was one of the amazing moments of my life, and I've been in Nigeria for a year now, and I am complaining about living in Nigeria so badly because there's so many things that the country is still not doing that I had in the Philippines, like constant electricity, good roads, freedom. How safe the Philippines is, that as a woman, as a single black woman, I could travel by myself and I would not be afraid of anything. But I can't even do that in Nigeria since I've been back home. People don't.
You see, that is so true. When I was in the Philippines, I originally when I went to the Philippines, people would tell me, Kevo, it's not safe to be out at night. It's not safe to go do certain things. Not safe to hold my camera. Like people was like, yo, Kevo, don't take your camera out and start vlogging. And I would just take my camera out and start vlogging. And I felt safe doing it. I did it in daytime, did it in nighttime. No one really bothered me. Like people would see me vlogging, they would just keep on walking. Like most of them would keep on walking, and then some of them would stop me and be like, "Oh, what's your channel? Are you a vlogger?" That was the first thing. Are you a vlogger? And I would be like, "Yeah." And then they'll ask me, "What's your channel?" And I'd be like, "It's Kevo." And then they go check it out, and they're like, "Oh, you're cool, man. You're famous. Can I take a picture?" And that was it. Going in the Philippines, I felt safe. I never had a incident I could say. Actually, there was one incident. I have told this story before, but for you guys who haven't, I was in Manila, and I was on a scooter with one of my friends, and we were going. I think where we were going, one of the SM malls, and I made a mistake and accidentally went on the highway. And for some reason, a police officer saw us, and he told us I'm going the wrong way. I said, okay, well, it's my first time in the Philippines. I'm not sure. How do we get off the highway? And then he was like, no, you can't. You have to come with me, or you have to pay 500 pesos. I was like, what? This is my first time in the Philippines. I didn't know where I was going. I kind of took a wrong turn, and I didn't want to back all the way up to the exit. I took a wrong turn with my GPS, and he told me, no, 500 pesos, or we're going to have to book you and take your scooter away and all this. And my friend at the time, she was arguing, saying, no, you can't do this. This is wrong. You can't be doing stuff like this. And he didn't care. He just said 500 pesos, or you're going to have to get arrested right now. So anyways, we just paid the 500 pesos, and he pointed us the direction, and we just kept riding. And a few minutes later, like we were about to get off the exit, another police officer pulled us over. And this time, she was like, oh, we're going to have to fine you and arrest you. I was like, no, I just told the other cop down the road, because at this point, I was annoyed. I was honestly a little annoyed, because the other cop just made me pay so I can continue. And now I feel like this one was trying to do the same thing. And I refused. I said, no, I am not paying anything more. I was so irate. Like, I was upset. Because at this point, I felt like, oh, my God, are there police officers worse than the citizens? Like, I thought the police officers are supposed to be protecting us, right? And protecting the people, serving the people. Like in Canada, police officers serve the people. And, like, if you want to ride from a cop to drop you home, you tell them you got dropped, and they'll drop you home. But I felt like I was getting robbed again by a police officer. And I just didn't understand, or they were taking advantage of me. And it was just blowing my mind. Like, honestly, it was blowing my mind. But I just refused. And at this point, my friend was like refusing as well. And we had the whole sergeant come down and everything. Like, the whole sergeant came, spoke to the sergeant. I told the sergeant what happened. The sergeant said, do you remember the person's name? Or where? I told him it was maybe 5 minutes back. And he took my money. And he told us to go this way. And now you guys are trying to do the same thing. And the sergeant said, how long have you been in the Philippines? I told him, honestly, I just came here like a couple days ago. This is my first time here. I made a mistake. I have my license. I showed him my license. I showed everything. And he just said, okay, you know what? Go ahead. And that was it. I said, thank you. And I left. But that was the one thing I can honestly remember vividly to this day. And that's the one experience. If anyone asks me about one bad experience in the Philippines, that is it.
Always ask me, so you live in the Philippines, what is it like? And I'm like, the people are amazing, the country is beautiful, it's safe to travel, and so much more. There's just this comfort already. I didn't
about karaoke.
I left the Philippines to come back to Nigeria.
She wants to go back to the Philippines.
A third world country, just like my own country. But my staying in the Philippines have really changed a lot of things about how I see Philippines. I must confess that I love the Philippines.
Hey.
I love the Philippines. I mean, they gave me my dream course. Today, I'm a graduate, BSN graduate. It is not easy. So yeah, Philippines is just like my second home.
Knowing that you've lived or are still living in the Philippines, what Filipino words or sentences have you picked up along the way?
Mahal kita.
Mahal
Magandang
kita.
umaga, magandang gabi,
Gabi.
magandang hapon. Anong pangalan? Ang pangalan ko.
Anong pangalan mo?
I also learned pera, of course. Pesos. That is the pera that we all
Pera.
need. Walang pasok. Of course, we love that word. I love walang pasok a lot. We hate may
Anong
pasok.
pangalan
I
mo?
personally hate may pasok.
Guapo.
One that I
Kevo,
get a
guapo.
lot is Maganda. Kumusta?
Maganda.
Kanan, there's Kaliwa. When you're going around, let's say I get
Diba.
lost. Like when you want to approach someone, you have to do it with respect. So they'll usually say ate or kuya. Of course,
Kuya po.
Maganda, umaga, charot. My friends uses that a lot. So
Charot.
these are some of the phrases that I can actually remember.
Guapo, maganda, kumusta ka na, mabuti. Another word
Mabuti.
I know, of course, is pera. I cannot
Pera,
forget that word,
pera.
Love that word, pera. Meron, pera. Walang, pera. So these are the
Walang
few
pera.
words I can say
Okay lang.
anytime, any day.
I'm fine.
Lahat po, lahat. Especially pag sinabi na kakain na, gusto natin kakain na.
My homeboy is fluent. Homeboy is fluent right here.
Kumain. Kaya pag pupunta na sa dagat, kasi paninirahan sa Pilipinas, pinakagusto sa lahat yung nature. Yung mga tao doon, mga isda, yung mga local. Been a city person before, pero once you get older, gusto mo na peace. Diba?
As you can see, guys, nagtatagalog naman po ako after 14 years, so...
I know you'll be able to speak it proper.
But I don't know, the first word siguro that I ever got to learn was upuan and salamat. Pero ngayon,
Salamat po.
Naman ako mag-Tagalog. It's a lot of, Filipino words that I'm still trying to learn. So, salamat po.
Salamat po. That's a sign of respect. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that because, that was fun to watch. I actually enjoyed that and try to see if some of the stuff that I can relate to, which you guys seen that. I relate a lot of things, and I said it before these guys actually said it because that's what I experienced when I went to the Philippines. Would I go back to the Philippines? Hell yeah, definitely go back to the Philippines. Anyways, make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, guys, turn that post notification bells on. Catch you guys next one, all right? Bye.